So we all know next month Logan Paul is going to be thrown on a pedestal for battering the living daylight out of a failed influencer and professional bin dipper danis, which I mean truly is going to be a real mid-off. It seems this isn't the new drama that's been uncovered, and actually it turns out that Logan Paul has scammed his fans once again. And it leaves Logan thinking, once again, I need to try and save my tarnished legacy. So you might be asking, what is this alleged scam? So let's get into this. So we all know about CryptoZoo, Logan Paul's previous scam. There were loads of exposés on it, such as CoffeeZilla, and it's still going on, as in it's not being paid out yet. So Logan is still refusing to give any money out for it, which I mean is absolutely brilliant. Unfortunately for me, I can only feel a certain amount of sorry for the people that would put their trust in him. So this new scam on the horizon actually turns out to be about Pokemon cards. And this all specifically started in 2021 when Logan Paul released a video on him buying £3.5 million worth of first edition cards. Which to me, it kind of feels like the incel levels are through the roof for this. Like, I understand that the collectibles and the price may go up in the future, but to me, I don't really think anything at any price like that is worth buying, considering it is just a piece of paper. So Logan bought these off of someone called Matt, and Matt absolutely assured him that if anything went wrong, he would pay him back. And they even had specific nerdy card authenticators to do this, just to assure that he's not going to get ripped off.
Look at this bullshit. Why doesn't this one say first edition on it?
Oh no. No,
That's
not like this. Not like this. Oh my god. Oh my god, bro. G.I. Joe! And I mean, so, what would you know? The fake. And he didn't get the money back for him, Paul. So he's totally mugged himself off here. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's all worth a good laugh, innit? That, I mean, it makes sense why he hasn't paid back the CryptoZoo holders. But the thing is, considering what I'm about to go through, it kind of makes sense that he hasn't been paid back for this scam. So 2 weeks ago, Rattle Pokemon, who is a YouTuber, uploaded a video, an expose on how this entire thing is fake. And this dropped in my recommended, which I was really surprised Pokemon content dropped there. I didn't really think I would built like that. Rattle Pokemon's channel is entirely dedicated to calling out Pokemon scams, and I mean, you've kind of got to respect the graft. It's very, very niche and very specific. But yeah, it turns out that Rattle Pokemon has done multiple videos on Logan Paul before, and all these problems around his Pokemon cards, basically exposing everything. I mean, this is just another feather in the cap for Logan Paul, isn't it really? And I mean, it makes sense that he hasn't been paid back by Matt, because as we're going to go on to, it seems to be a total unraveling of deceit, lies, with a little pinch of trickery. So, how's he done this then? And how can it even be faked? And to understand all this, I'm going to have to show you a little graphic of the purchase web. So it turns out this guy, Justin, was the first guy to purchase this and own it. And he passed this down on eBay to two people, Jacob and Jamil. So we have Justin, Jacob, Jamil. Don't get lost. And before Jacob and Jamil bought this, they got this authenticated by someone called Pokeju. After some time, Jack and Jamil then sold this to a guy called Matt or Shine, which is the person that Logan Paul bought this from. And Matt or Shine got this authenticated by someone called Steve, BBCE, which is apparently a massive authenticator in the Pokemon sphere. Just don't ask me that. And Steve was paid off pretty well because, as it turns out, he managed to get a new whip out of this. He got a brand new bike, which in retrospect is what I'm going to tell you. It turns out that's a pretty good deal. I hope you're still with us. And here's the kicker. So the two authenticators, Pokeju and Steve, from the start of this purchase where before Logan had bought it, were both there to witness that this was entirely fake in the original Logan Paul video. Which, I mean, it's funny that, isn't it? You'd think that they wouldn't be needed considering they'd already authenticated it. So this is where the lies and deceit start to take fold. So Rattle Pokemon managed to find the original listing that Justin had loaded onto eBay, and it shows a tiny bit of a price difference compared to the 2.6 million that Matt bought it for. I mean, that's a pretty good profit margin. The sad thing is, a James Charles meet and greet is probably around the same price. So I've told you all these people, and they will come in use later. But it's not just that that's weird with the video. Rattle spots that the box labels are incorrect from the get-go.
They copied the barcodes off of the unlimited version and then changed the number to have the 1E on it to make it seem like it was a first edition case, because they copied other WotC cases that would have that. But the problem is that the barcode was still the old barcode. They didn't know how barcodes work.
Which Rattle states would immediately mean that these boxes are fake without even looking into anything inside. Which really makes you think, how could these people who have been doing this for decades to authenticate stuff, especially with the highest prices imaginable for some pieces of card, how could they not spot this? Why would it have to be a random Pokemon YouTuber channel with 30k subs that will come in and be able to spot this before it even happened? You'd also think it would harm their reputation if they authenticated something that they shouldn't have authenticated. Are they really that stupid? Well, actually, yeah, maybe, but we'll get onto that. And I mean, it gets even deeper when you scratch the surface. So when Rattle Pokemon initially posted his video, Jacob, one of the people who bought it from eBay, sent Rattle Pokemon an Instagram message offering $500,000 to take the video down.
So I believe that this was a real message from real Jacob, Card Kahuna, who said that he would pay me $500,000. I did not take the bribe, so I guess we can't confirm whether it's going to be real or not.
And Rattle also states that the three J's in question all apparently knew each other pretty well before this transaction ever took place on eBay. And they intended to split the 2.7 million made by Matt 3 ways, and that they're also trying to scrub all interactions between each other off the platforms, any platform, which I mean really makes you think there is probably something very fishy going on here. So from this debacle, Logan is scammed, he's down, he's lost, and he's looking for his next unicorn to snatch. So if you've lost $3.5 million on Pokemon cards, what do you think would be the best investment to do to get that money back? Well, Logan, in his magical wisdom, decided to get a $4 million Pokemon card, but not the first edition boxes where you get loads, just one Pokemon card. So fucking stupid. But there is one little problem here. Logan is actually 3.5 million down, so he's a broke boy now. The poor little Logan can't afford it. With how unsuccessful Crypto Zoo's been for him, Prime's been terrible for him, he's not made any money with that, and he's also lost a lot of money getting married. How is he ever going to be able to afford that? And he finds quite an inventive solution to this. And he decides, why not let my fans, in very loose terms, pay for it for me? He's never done this one before, and it's never gone wrong, trust me, I'm sure. So he decided to let his fans own this by being able to buy shares in a very overpriced piece of card on a website that would be created for and made by Logan. From what we now know about CryptoZoo, this sounds like a really terrible joke setup. Like, it's ridiculous. And the name for this place, Liquid Marketplace, or to be honest, more like a liquid marketplace, because nobody can get fucking any funds from it. And the entire reason that this started, as I said, because of this Pokemon card, so you could own 747 million for this Pokemon card for like 16 cents. And it's good for you because if he ends up selling it for what, 4.5 million? You can get 20 pence. I tell you what, this is a total bargaining chip. He's really captivated my imagination. For example, see this 1999 Pokemon card box? You can buy these tokens on this platform, which then you can redeem on this item, so you technically own this item. Or at least you own a percentage of the value of that item, if that even makes any sense. And I just don't get the irony of this in that he's selling a first edition Pokemon card thing after him already being scammed for a first edition Pokemon card thing. So it's just fucking hilarious. Like, how dumb do you have to be? Like, how can his fans not look through this? And realistically, if you had enough money, you could buy the entire item on the website, but not actually own the item, which I mean is a brilliant premise, isn't it? It's like going to the shop to get a pizza when you only want a curry. So yeah, you buy the tokens on the site so you own a part of this massive project. And I mean, it sounds a lot like a crypto scam, and Logan's never done that before, has he? It doesn't sound like NFTs at all or anything. And the craziest thing for me is that at the end of the day, you don't even own the item, you just own the tokens that represent the item. Like, there's no way you can look at the item, you can't exchange it, it's just there. It's like the most stupid premise possible to try and get as much money out of your fans that adore you at any cost. And I mean, you just have to be a total doofus to fall for something like this, but most of his fans are children, so it makes it even easier to be able to scam them. Like in CryptoZoo, he needs a team of co-conspirators, people that, if it turns out that it goes wrong, which inevitably it will do and has done, he can spread the blame to other people. And if it goes south, it's not his fault, is it? It's the fault of his team, his terrible team. And I mean, in any situation possible, it has never been his fault. He didn't even mean to go into that forest. He just stumbled in. He thought the sign said seaside forest. But here's the kicker. Guess who he hired? So first off, the director of assets for this shitty website, for some very weird reason, is Matt Allen, which, if you remember, is the guy who sold him the fake cards for $3.5 million. So the guy who handles what's going on and off this site is the person who technically scammed him, and now due to this is in charge of even larger and more expensive assets such as that Pokemon card. Obviously that makes sense. There's definitely no collusion going on anywhere. And for the strategic director of this company, who has he chosen? He's chosen none other than Pokedew, who was the original authenticator of the box, not even when Logan got it. Logan didn't use him. It's the person before that who sold it to Jack and Jamil, which once again, odd, isn't it? Surely that's just one massive, very weird, odd coincidence? And I mean, if you want to look at it very literally, like me, I just don't understand it at all. Why would you invite a group of people who have not only wronged you, but wronged you out of $3.5 million into your new company that's going to be a massive, massive thing? Unless, obviously, there is something very, very dark, allegedly, behind, allegedly, the scenes, allegedly, that's going wrong. I mean, let's not bat around the bush. There's clearly something disgusting going on behind the scenes. And I mean, for this platform, Liquid Marketplace, the Discord is already down for this site, which means that people can't vent their own frustrations, etc. to the team in real time and let other people see it. And also the tokens seem to be on hold at the moment. You know, the tokens that people pay money to get, they can't use them, they can't withdraw. Very odd. That didn't happen with CryptoZoo either. As you can see, people are worrying that they've been scammed, as these tokens seem to have vanished out of thin air. All my fake NFT Pokemon cards. And I mean, the stupid support team that I'm not even going to recite have come out and said, oh, give us some time, which, I mean, that happened exactly in CryptoZoo, and as you can see, that turned out very well considering nobody has got their money back for it. And I mean, it quite truly looks like another one of Logan Paul's scams. They also have months of silence on all of the platforms, and they managed to upload something on Insta a couple of days ago that was just about a shitty new chat feature, like anyone's going to use that anywhere. And as it turns out, there is a lawsuit that is pending on this site too. And it looks like to me that we're going to be on the cusp of another batch of silence and another scam created by Logan Paul. So there is still a lot of investigating to do here, but it's not looking rosy at all. Also, it's worthy to note that in previous allegations from Logan Paul, he tends to do the silent treatment himself. And a prime example is here from Rattle's video.
I likely use this on the thumbnail, but this is a weird thing to say to someone who supposedly saved you $3.5 million. I wasn't hounding him with questions. He just really didn't like this one.
Once again, just asking for more time. Like, you've had enough time, buddy. Honestly.
Big man thing, yeah? It's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good.
Clearly, to me, this is an indication that something very fishy is going on again. Like, he can't help himself. He's such a prick. You also couple this with all the fight news that's going on, and it doesn't look great for Logan at all, does it? Let's be honest. Which obviously you won't have missed. Dillon Danis attacked Nina Agdal. This has been going on for weeks, and I mean, it's died down a little bit recently, considering that Dillon Danis has had a lawsuit filed against him, which, I mean, is quite based. Nina herself has been going around a circle of Hollywood men, but this has so obviously been overdone because of the fact that she's a woman. And it's also very weird as well, because Logan will know exactly what she's done before. Dillon Danis has said things like, I'm just trying to help you. And I mean, some of the things that she said, I wouldn't want highlighted and put in the public domain. But at the same time, I'm almost certain that Logan Paul has steamrolled 90% of all women within a 50-mile radius of his Las Vegas home. So it definitely goes both ways. And I mean, obviously they're still together, so it's a sore topic to bring up, and I think that they both are rattled by Dillon Danis, but it's not really an issue at all. It's a non-issue. And as stated, Dillon Danis is a fucking loser. Like, so he's gonna get rinsed, absolutely rinsed for this, and I doubt he will even show up at the fight. But this is the thing, what happens when you corner someone, especially someone like Logan Paul? He will tend to be quiet for a second and then try and fight out, kicking and screaming, crawling as much as he can. He will try and get worse, and he'll get more calculated. And I mean, the reason that I've half highlighted this is the fact that this is just one big Logan Paul thing that's going on now, which totally enshrouds what's going on here. Like, this is much more important to him as his character is defamed. Because Dillon Danis is posting lewd photos of his wife, this is all getting swept under the rug, but this is the real story that people should be talking about coming up to fight night. Hopefully more stuff drops on this, and if it does, I will keep you updated on that. But it just adds to everything that is scummy about the Logan Paul character and his facade as a person. He's a horrible human being. And to me, if it smells like a scam, and especially with Logan Paul, if it looks and feels like a scam, it almost certainly is a scam. Let me know if you guys want to follow up to this if I say anything. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. In a bit.